we have a 5A1 credit rating, which is the highest by Dun & Bradstreet. This means that the company is virtually debt-free, okay, rock solid company. Forbes has named us the top 5 most trusted mid-cap company. Very proud of the fact that in Singapore, we were the first direct selling company to be Case Trust certified, which means we have very good business practices. And we are a company with a heart. In 2007, we were awarded the American Business Award for Best Corporate Social Responsibility Program for our Nourish the Children initiative. We in Singapore are 21 years old. We are the number 1 direct selling company for the last 11 years. We are in 4 big markets. Some people say new skin, they think it's only skincare. Well, we are in nutrition and supplements, cosmeceuticals and beauty, anti-aging and weight management. And this last category is huge. We are very, very happy that our weight management and well-being brand has been the top one in Singapore for 5 consecutive years. Okay, so a little bit about me. This is my before picture, and this is after 6 months. And and that was pressed wrongly. Yeah, so this was me in 2006, civil servant, using my mouth a lot. The most active part of my body was my mouth. So that's why the body became like that. So when the company introduced a weight management program, I was really skeptical, but I went on it. And lo and behold, first time in my life, I actually managed to lose 10 kg. Okay, this is my friend Ruth. She was 47 at that time, a missionary. And in 3 months, she lost 13.2 kg. Well, quite a bit of body fat, as you can see. I don't need to read off the stats. You can see the stomach, visceral fat, body fat all down. And best part, always I say, she looks so much younger after weight loss. Yeah. And Ruth is already, 53 today. She looks just like that still. All right. Madam Zulaha is my favorite testimonial because she was tipping the scales at 100 kg, lost all hope of losing weight. Sister said, try this. She said, okay. I tried one last time, and look what happened to her. She went from 100 kg to 68 and gained 16 more years of life and looked like a whole new person. I like this testimonial because this is poor Richard. I say poor because he's 34 years old but looks so old and also balding, right? Do you want to see what he looked like after he finished his weight management program? Like Korean pop star, I always say, no longer snoring, improved eczema, better shape and 6 packs. A new life. Harold is so impressive, right? He lost 7 kg and all 7 kg was fat loss. Imagine that. So now you will hear this word age lock a lot. Even TR90 is called. Exactly, is age lock. Age lock is a groundbreaking science. Discovery Channel actually featured this science in a program, and in the program they actually interviewed our Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Joe Chang, gentleman over there, not the monkey. Yeah. Okay, so this is we don't pay Discovery Channel to be on it. It has to be really groundbreaking science for it to be featured. Okay, so what is so big deal is that it actually addresses the root cause of aging. And using age lock technology, we are able to screen lots and lots of ingredients out there to find the right blend that will switch your gene expression to that of your younger self. Okay, so it says target youth genes, find the right ingredients, right? So that the right ingredient, okay, can turn your own gene to look somewhat young. And that is why also you find that a lot of people do look and feel younger. Well, we applied this technology to what we call the ultimate goal of anti-aging. Y span supports your aging defense mechanisms, and R square supports cellular energy production and cellular purification. And the whole goal is to help us to live more youthful years, prolong the years that we can be active, energetic, and healthy, and not just about having long lifespan, but having long youth span. Okay. The normal person spends the last 10 years of his or her time on earth in poor health. This is not what we want. So if you look at my favorite poster girl of anti-aging, this is Monica Lam. She's 78 years old. Can you imagine? That's her husband, the one in blue. And the update next to her in the other photo is actually the same age as her. It's her business partner's father. Okay. So, This is anti-aging, no need to say more. Well, I like this testimonial to John. He celebrated his 80th birthday by completing his first 42 kg marathon, and he's looking forward to his first triathlon in April. He did it, right? So he used to be bothered by frequent flu bouts and the onset of elderly issues that includes prostate, slow recovery after physical exercises, and fading memory. Thanks to the ultimate duo, this is what John looked like, in that picture, jumping, healthy 81-year-old. So this is Machiko-san's testimonial. I totally believe in ultimate duo's power by my own mother's transformation. She was mentally exhausted by side effects of doctors' medications and she wanted to stop all, including her life. After 3 months of taking ultimate duo, all her side effects had gone, and she even started yoga at the age of 83. She'll be 90 in 10 days. I'm so grateful to New Skin products. And Kim Boon, with Ultimate Duo Life and Life Pack, his eczema gone. And I must introduce this new age shop product, which is called Reset. It is a mask for metabolic health. Reset is actually extract from blueberries, black currants, and black rice. Yeah, the benefits, something which everybody wants: greater immunity, stronger recovery, more energy, and improve overall metabolism. People say they sleep so well after taking Reset, like a baby, in fact. Enjoying life, feeling more calm, more relaxed, and some people call it the happy pill. And what's more, it helps to trim visceral fat, increase muscle. So some people say Reset is going to help you rediscover your waistline. Mr. H is a testimonial where from pre-diabetic few years back to diabetic this year, and he resolved to try to stay away from lifelong medication, thus started Reset. A month later, he's thrilled that his blood sugar level has already dropped from 9.1 to 6.6. It feels less tired with better sleep quality, and is excited for the rest of his family to start a Reset as well. Oh, this lady here, Wan Noya, says, no more insomnia, no more heavy head, no more sakit kepala, no more migraine, deep sleep, blood pressure stable, and then Labia Gimbira, which means very happy. Okay, great. Last product I want to talk about is Reset. This is something to help you look gorgeous inside out. We've got a unique proprietary blend, that's why it's called Collagen Plus. And these are the ingredients: peptides, lutein, and phytoceramides. I'm going to just show testimonials very quickly. They speak for themselves, the before after photo. And even men use it and they love it too. And next up, I will spend another 2 minutes talking about the world's number one at-home beauty devices. Number one product is Lumi Spa, which in 2 minutes gives you 7 skin benefits, including smoothness, radiance, helping your pore size. So if you look at the picture here, just do it on one hand, immediately in 2 minutes you can see the difference. Okay. And if you change the head, the Lumi Accent, it can help to reduce dark circles, eye bags, puffiness, wrinkles, and brighten and refreshes your face. That's why it's won more than 30 awards. And we've got a new incarnation of Lumi Spa called the Lumi IO. Okay. Second instrument or device I'll talk about is the galvanic spa, which is a wrinkle iron. That's why you see this pawpaw. Literally, using the galvanic spa on one side, the wrinkles are fairly well gone, right? You can see, and she looks decades younger. Spa can be used on the body as well, which makes it a very versatile device. And of course, people use it with a different attachment and serum to help with hair loss. Okay. Okay, last but not least, Age Lock Boost, a tiny device that packs a punch of benefits like brighter glowing complexion, helping your skin to appear fuller, softer, and to also make it plumper. This is May, who's seated right there. Just 4 weeks, brighter face, less pigmentation, smoother. Jeff was helping us to zoom tonight. Oh, eyes lifted, eye bags reduced, pigmentation reduced, cheeks filled. Jackie, before boost and after boost, oh, she says her skin was very blah, and then she became like brilliant. Literally years younger. I just showed this picture to my friend last night, and she said, "Wow, tell me more." Oh, that was it. Okay, so I've come to the end of my quick tour, and it's time now to meet our 3 men. So can I ask James, Seng, and Oliver to come to the front, and I'll quickly introduce them. for them. So Dr. James Chia has a PhD in civil engineering and he spent many years in construction. Then he decided to do something completely different and became a financial planner. He's got CFP and CFP qualifications and a master's in applied finance. James is an outstanding soldier, lieutenant colonel in the Guards unit, and he was NS Man of the Year in 1995. He's a team elite in New Skill and a $1 million earner. Next up, another lieutenant colonel, Seng. Yeah, I correct lieutenant colonel. He was a HR director in a Japanese MNC. Legend has it that this man got promoted multiple times, almost every year. That one you need to verify for us later. And he is a business consultant with SME. And Oliver, not yet Akong. Old friend. Oliver is a mixed bag and I'm very confused by his qualifications, but he's an industrial engineer who is also a psychometrist, looking into people's behavioral pattern and helping them with career coaching. And he also teaches people how to cook and bake. Yeah. And he's also a tummy flattening consultant. So with all that, right, I need to let you guys talk. So tell us a little bit more about your background and how you came into this business called New Skin, which is like what? You think it's motions and motions, but tell us.
Okay. So I studied civil engineering and I worked as a contractor for many years until age 40. I remember at age 40, I hadn't been on leave for 5 years. So I decided to do something completely different. I went to sell life insurance. Now, at the time when I was introduced to New Skin, I was working maybe 12, 14 hours a day in my business. And those of you who do in-camp training, you have makeup pay. So my makeup pay was $60,000 a month. So I didn't really need extra income. And besides, Jackie was already retired. But what made us want to do this was we looked at the people who were involved. The person who introduced me to the business, Mr. Tan Jun Wen, he was a government scholar. He left the government service and stopped working. Very, very successful. Very, very successful stockbroker. I looked at him, I looked at the people that sponsored him. And so for me, it was a why not? Simply a why not.
Thank you. Over to you, Hoxie.
Actually, just how you mentioned, the ocean and ocean sounds like sales. Sales was never in my mind. Start. For my after finished the studies, immediately I joined manufacturing industry, and from there, right, I toured around the whole things. I joined two different MNC to MNC. About 7 departments, all in 17 years. It was interesting to note that 7 departments are from engineering to production to procurement to logistics to MIS to human resource. All these departments are the department what we call sitting on this side of the desk. And people come to ask you for things. Right? So asking for something from people has never come across my mind in my whole life. So, like what Dr. James Chia mentioned, you are not in practice. Actually, I can't understand this word. Then later, of course, I realized that when I actually go into this business, it was lucky that about 2 decades ago, Dr. James Chia opened his mouth and said, something really changed my life. And I mentioned to him that at the age of 40, I will slot another 10 years in China, and then I want to retire. 3 questions he asked when he put me sit up. He asked, in 10 years, will you be able to accumulate enough wealth for retirement? Will your health be better or worse? And will your relationship with family become better? That was a very alarming question. Of course, you don't need a rocket scientist's mind to know that the answer is a clear no. And that actually gave me a good reason to open up my mind to take a look. What is opportunities about? And lo and behold, I look at it and say, wow, goodness, this thing really answers to all the concerns that I have in life. And why not just jump in and do it? And not that-
Wow, thank you. It's amazing that you can remember the question so clearly 20 years after, right? Piercing questions from the Dr. James Chia. Okay, how about the Oliver now?
The Oliver, yeah, there's only one. Okay, so you know, compared with these two guys, I'm a job hopper, right? I went from engineering to headhunting, which lasted only 1.5 years. Then I became a psychometrist that lasted 25 years. Just was there. So long story. But the reason why I went from headhunting to psychometrist, I went from engineering to become a headhunter because I didn't like my job. You know, this is a doctor, this is a human resource director. I taught maths for 9 years in secondary school, all the way until Sec 4. You know? So when engineering, I hated the job, and then when the headhunting, and one of the things about headhunting is it's a very good job. But there's one problem, I need to do sales. After a while, they say, Oliver, I think you better get out of sales. You're not designed for this kind of thing. So they transferred me to another department on psychometry, and I did well on that period because I wasn't required to do sales. Some things for me. Okay. So that lasted 25 years. Right? But how did I come to this business, and what actually got me involved in it is my customer, Mr. Ong here, yeah, Ong Sim. He was my customer from the consulting side. I was doing psychometrics for his company. So one day he just come and visit me in my office. Okay, I'll sit down. He started talking to me about this business. And I asked him, then I realized, oh, it's a network marketing business, and I was kind of resistant. So I thought maybe, because I like this guy. Okay, so I said, give him a chance. All product, all the things in the world, he tell me skincare. I mean, I look at him, does he look like skincare salesperson to you? Okay, so it just didn't make sense to her at the time. But he was very smart because all along he taught me one skill, and that skill started right from the beginning of the way he talked to me. He was talking to me, he was asking me questions, and he found out that I don't have time to spend my family. So he asked me if this business can make the same amount of money as you're doing right now, and yet you have time to spend time with your family, would you be interested? I said, wow, like that, toilet paper I also do, man. And then after that, we did what a typical network marketer would do. He said, come and see my outline.
Wow.
I said, okay. And when you see outline, confirm it's not a skincare sales business. After I saw it, okay.
Yeah.
And that got me excited. I said, this guy can do it. Why can't I do it? Then James Chia that day said to me something that actually woke me up. I tried to corner him. I thought I was smart. I didn't know he was an lieutenant colonel there. I thought I was smart. So I tried to corner him. I said, James, you say until everything got dragon or finished, very good. And you say, yeah. So if this thing is so good now, everybody's using it, then I sell to who? It's a typical low-end question. I saturated sell to who? He was just looking at me, and you know James, right? He said, do you have a TV at home? I said, what kind of question is that? Of course I have a TV at home. In my heart, I said, yes. How many years have you been using a TV? I said, 13 years. Very good, Toshiba. He says, okay. Outside got people selling TV. I said, yeah. If one TV lasts you 13 years, outside people still selling TV. Our every box only lasts 1 month, you take it ever saturate. That was when I sat back and says, this guy is talking to me like an entrepreneur, businessman. I was thinking like an employee. What he's saying is that if you come into a fast-moving consumer goods business, there's no such thing as saturation. And that's what made me help me make the decision to send me to Tanjung Wen, another one. But Juwen sealed in because towards the end of the day, he didn't know what he was talking about. In the whole presentation, but we signed up because you know why? If I want to be a millionaire, mix with the millionaires like Juwen, James, and all these people. Why do I talk to my fellow employee who's not a millionaire? So that's how things happen.
Thank you. I love all these stories. You guys have elephant memory now. That's what I concluded. Hey, my favorite question. How has your life been transformed? I like this question because it's like modern day Cinderella tale like that.
Hey, can I before we talk about how my life is transformed? and talk about how we started the business. We just shared why we did it. And I think the big question of a lot of people ask and hesitate is how to do it. For me, it was very simple. We were new, we were busy. I told you I was working 12, 14 hours a day. And we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So we just followed everything our uplines told us to do, we just followed. Now, was basically monkey see, monkey do. Now, when your upline is only 1 month older than you in the business, some of the things he says is not really right, but we made up for it with enthusiasm anyway.
Actually, I also don't know how I get there this time. But all I remember is you just need to do home party. And I have no idea what home party is all about. But just do it. The key is just do it. Because I remember I told James, I did so many things wrong about the start. Like one-to-one talk to a person for 4 hours in one place. I think the person so tired, and I haven't started enrolling. And I'm so tired. It can't be done. So of course, I learned good lessons. You just need to leverage. You just need to leverage. And once I get over that, okay, things are better. So don't need to be like traditional employee, a traditional business taking. You have to add 100% on yourself. This is a business of leverage. How I started. Very simple. No, end up you ask the question. I forgot about the question. You answer that question. Okay, how we started, very simple. I came in, Oxing was excited. I was excited. So the first thing Oxing said, the upline all trained on, do what the upline tell you, right? So Oxing said, organize product party. I said, oh, I'm tired. How to organize product party? Not sell skincare to ladies. My skin look like sandpaper at the time, no? So I go very big, right? I nudge my wife, go invite my relative. Okay, I'll invite. So invite two of them, right? Came in, sit down, and then say, okay. So he walked into my house. Sandals. Big call. He's got this t-shirt where he's starting in his pocket and it's so thick. And so I said, wow, quite jialat. He came in, but he was very courteous. He started placing the product. I was asking myself how long we're going to take to place the product. It was very hot. People were perspiring. You know how we talk about business by pointing at the sky? It was about 8 months old at the time. Poor fellow. Pointing at the sky, I was sitting on there and saying, oh, this time, never mind. After presenting, he said, would you like to try some? So my cousin and my auntie looked at each other, and my cousin made face up. I would like to try the scrub. He said, oh, very good. That was what he said, oh, very good. So he slowly took the back, something like that. That first party was very impressed. And she paid. After they went off, very courteous. After he gave me money, he said, Oliver, well done. Oh. Your first party, you sold a scrub. Wow. I sat down there and said, I know I failed my maths, My target is 2,000 points. I got 4 weekends. This weekend I just spent, I did 16 points. 16 times 4 is not 2,000 points. And it's well done. I was like, oh, this is not jialat, man. And that's when I went to Mr. Tan Juwen. How did you do 30,000 points a month? Wow. He said, Oliver, sell the complaint. I said, oh. Then I understood. Look for business builders. Because when a business builder come in, they do big. You buy the starter package. Right? That's how I started. Because I started well because I was very pro with skincare products. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
I was a lot luckier than you because James just sent Jackie Chia to me. Got more hope. My party. Okay, James, take it away. How has the business transformed your life?
Okay, I want to just show some slides. It's transformed my life in many, many ways, but I also want to show some, I'll take you through some slides. So the first thing that unexpectedly, I was very fit already, but I got fitter, I got healthier. Okay. So this was me in university, 22 years old. Last time we don't know how to take selfies, so cut off the head. 30 years later, but this guy is still a lieutenant colonel in the army. He's exercising 2 hours a day, but somehow with age, I think he put on a bit of weight. And I went on the weight management program. That's how I look. And this is 66 years old. Okay? So maintain. But freedom has been something very, very important to me. All along, wanted to be free. This is a photo taken at my busiest time. Okay. Ride a motorbike, and then I got my children to be, all of the whole family ride motorbikes. Okay. All my children at age 5 years old could ride a 50cc Honda. Okay. So, we're a bit unconventional also. We want to be free, how to work for people. So that's what the kind of life I wanted. Now, obviously, we have spent a lot of time with the family. Okay. And so this is the family. They're all adults at that time. Okay. And we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro together. Of course, my wife climbed many mountains together. So that speaks about family time. A lot of time for family. And okay, this business, as we grow older, we actually still retain our childhood. So some pictures of gatherings where we know how to play. In fact, we frighten the children sometimes. Always behave. So, and okay, I want to talk a bit more about time freedom because that's been a big thing. So this is in October. It's very recent. So this was Thursday morning. I'm out stand up paddling, paddle about 6.5 kilometers. And in the evening, I cycled 34 kilometers along Tanah Coast Road. And then the very next morning, Friday morning, early morning, 6:45, we're up climbing Bukit Timah Hill. So why time freedom? Well, a lot of time to do that. But to get fit, to train, to be able to do all that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. And then I want to show you this last. So that this was 26th of November. I took part in a Singapore stand-up paddling race. What is exceptional about this is that the night before, we just come back from climbing a mountain. Okay, I slept at about 1 a.m. in the morning. Next morning, we were up racing at 9 o'clock. Okay, 6-kilometer race. And who went there? 3 people in their late 60s. Okay, myself 68, GP 69, and HP 70. Now, what's the significance of that? It's not just staying young. No, we are getting older, we're getting weaker, but in the mind, we're not afraid to try. We're not afraid to go out there and race. This is just paddling. This is a race. Okay? So yeah, these are some of the ways that life is changed.
Thank you, James. We've got more time to hear more stories. Over to you, Seng.
Actually, it's very difficult to describe transformation. But as far as I'm concerned, right, instead of telling you transformation, which I'm not too sure whether it is, I would rather tell you what have I benefited from this thing so far. Now, of course, we are in the health and beauty business, and obviously the first thing must be better health. So this is a recent picture, taken about a month ago, and I found my old picture, and I compared the 20 years different. It looks interesting. Yeah, equally fat, but looks younger. And that the baby on my hand is not my daughter, it's actually my granddaughter. First one, right? And I think that's precious because I'm not ready to play with her. A better look, of course. I was really, so by this. Because for men, right, it's not about how many, how smooth the skin is. It's whether I still got hair or not. So I try very hard to keep on, because my family is not a lot of hair on. I don't have hair. So I make sure that I have some hair. And now this is good. In better life, new skin. New skin allow us, and all this is provided by this kid, allow us to travel for free, travel a bit, learn for free, and give for free, contribute, share your experience with others, public, and play, of course, play with the loved one, and got to enjoy the work, So, New Skin sets a very interesting milestone for us. So we go all out, and we're somehow rewarded for our work right now. So it's interesting. And of course, most important is they learn. I love the family, love our upline family, love the extended family, always get together, and the big family in New Skin itself. Now, I recall, right, when I first started the business, I do this thing called foreseeable challenge. When I was 40 years old, this is how my three youngest looks like. They're 5 to 10. By the way, the one that is the baby I carry is induced the 10 years old daughter. Yeah, she's not 31, right? My parents then was about 65, 70. I do a prediction of 10 years, and I think they're going to be like that. And this picture taken exactly when I was 50 years old. Now, I do this forecast, right, is to tell myself that when I reach 50, I must have time and money to be with them, to really enjoy time with them. If my parents are still healthy, I need time and money to play with them. But if they are not well, I want to really spend time with them, to be accompanied them. Now, so I tell you, anything that you can foresee, it may come true. At my 48 years old, actually, at 50 years old, exactly 50 years old, I opened my mouth and asked my father, if you were to go to any place in the world to fulfill one of your dreams, where you want to go? He said Hong Kong airport. Actually, inside my heart, I travel Hong Kong airport almost every month or last time, go to the China market. Why Hong Kong airport? You're so excited with that station. He said, I want to see how is it like to return to when they return US, UK return to Hong Kong. So I quickly, within 2 weeks, arranged with all the 3 girls. We went for a tour from Monday to Friday. Purposely choose Monday to Friday and have a good time there. And he was so happy. We stepped in the Hong Kong airport and we went to the places that he wanted to go, including the seafood, so-called famous seafood place. Now, immediately after he came back, that's why there's this quote said, our success can wait, but our loved one cannot. He was diagnosed 4th stage lung cancer. You see the date from December 2009 to he ended his life at 27 July 2010. And that 8 months, I have a chance to spend every day, every morning breakfast with him, and actually understand from him his life. Because I left him at age of 8, and he only come back to stay with me when he was sick, and then at my age of 48. So I think we have a good time there. And I remember one day before she left, he told me this. He told me in front of my mom, said that he is completely at ease to what? To hand over my mom to all of us. I mean, this is priceless. And he left with total complete peace. Now, after my dad left, I of course, my mom is very precious to me. But a few years later, my mom, when his age of 80, one fine morning, he was very healthy, cycling every day, to market and all this, but he collapsed right in front of me, was making coffee for me. And then doctor was pronouncing it as major stroke and no chance to recover one because he's already 80 years old. 3 months later, you see, we get him. She was very hardworking, and I accompany her, make sure that she's able to walk, get out, and 10 months later, she can walk by herself. Now, this is really something that all children want to see happen in your parents, when at this stage. So again, same thing, I asked her, what are the things that you want to fulfill? Quick, let me know. Because you want to travel around Singapore, so we want to see two places in Singapore and make sure she witnessed the youngest one, Dawn's she's here, a week of graduation. And most interestingly, she says she wants to get the Singapore citizenship. And I go all the way up the approach. And finally, at the age of 80, she got her Singapore citizen. This was the happiest thing she can ever get because she said, now that she got a lot of subsidies, she just loved to be Singaporean. So yes, actually in the progress of doing this, getting her citizenship, then I find out their life. Where was she born? Actually, she was born in Singapore. I mean, after Second World War, then they are forced to Malaysia and become Malaysian citizens. So all these things found out. We need time, and we need really peace of mind to do all these things. I want to thank New Skin, thanks Dr. James Chia, our organizer, thank all the teams at Oliver and everybody to allow this thing to happen. And this is really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for saying. Wow.
Okay, so you asked me what my life has changed. Which I don't know. I just walked into the life as it is. Let me share with you something. Glenda went full time. My wife went full time in 2008. Okay, we made a decision when we signed on the dotted line. We said, okay, in 6 years' time, when my son goes to the primary 6, my wife will accompany him to do his PSLE. I know don't want to touch him, always playing, right? So the boy I got to accompany. So that happened in 2008. She did her resignation. She came in and stayed with us. 2008. 2012, I left my corporate job to do nursing full time, and I was working from home. One of the incident was very funny. My daughter, she was at primary 6 at the time. She will bring classmates to our house, my house, executive apartment, to play all this, study and all this. Every time they come to the door, the father was to hit on, what pizza? I made for you. Okay, make pizza, and then they come, they want this one. One day she told me, her friend asked her, your father no job? That's how my life has changed. I'm at home. That's what Hawk said right from the beginning. If there's a job that can pay you the same amount or even more, and you have time to spend with family, it did not occur to me that it was already happening. That was 2012. Right? So today, so you notice that the picture that when I first started, the kids were very young. Okay, and my face looked like the Malaysian roti canai. Maybe bertabak because got pimple, and this one got some Photoshop one. Okay, so my health has changed, children has grown up, and the picture of those two kids, Ines was celebrating her 23rd birthday in November. Okay, and Sean is 26. She's a business analyst right now. So what has changed? You know what has contributed to me is what I cannot get back. Myself and my wife spent their whole teenage life at home with them, It's over, it's gone. How many parents, after they retire, then they realize that they were never at home when the kids were growing up? So this is what I've gained, and I know that it will never come back, but I've gotten it already. Okay, that's more than enough in terms of what I've gained from New Skin. Let's not talk about money, because this whole family, I brought them all the way up. It's all dependent on New Skin, In Singapore, Singapore, not next door, in Singapore, expensive. Okay. So if you ask me, we did not miss anything. What did I get from New Skin? I did not miss anything in the childhood.
Wow. Thank you. Priceless, right? All these that you just mentioned. So I'm going to turn to the next question, right? As a New Skin leader, how different is that from your role in your last job or your last business?
Okay, yeah. in my last yeah, that's a bit scary. When you don't want to work, that's your income. But the plus of that, because I'm paid for other people's work, people earn multiples of income. That's one difference. The other difference is in my previous work, people do what I want, which is what I tell them or what I hint. Here, they choose whether they want to follow or not. But the plus is when they do want to follow, they go all out, you know, because they own their own business. A couple of nights ago, there was a very important broadcast from the US, and people were up at 4 a.m. in the morning listening to this. How do you tell an employee at 4 a.m. in the morning? Over here at night, they'll spend their own time. So that's the plus side of it. Actually, from my point of view, when I was working for people, some person say, I really work very, very hard, and I'm a problem solver. So probably at that kind of mindset, boss like us around, like problem solver. But after a while, right, they realize that you become a human being rather than a human being. Because it's just get task and complete the task. And so what do we do? In that kind of situation is we manage, it's like a micromanage. We, we can compartmentalize things, or conflicts. But finger pointing is, but over this kind of business, like new scheme here, I realize it's all about leadership by example, just do, you do it, and so others can follow. So I realized that, here very simple is you lead and inspire. How we do is we learn, we do, teach, and we do. Very different from uh, things. Of course, another thing is about teamwork. It's how different, very similar to what the continent. I spent my whole life in corporate carbon backside different. Why didn't like our backside? Cover backside, we call it write memo, make sure the boss knows so that I cover my tracks. Okay. Particular business, we are basically in corporate world, we are given the leadership position. Maybe okay, you're this senior, I give position, there's a subordinate can deal with it. Okay. Subordinate failure or not. On this to lead a group of entrepreneurs is different altogether. That's how huge the difference is. The way they move attitude is, and so in order to lead this group of people, we have to up our ante. Whatever we want to do, we do first, they just follow. Different the corporate world, I tell you, you better do. Performance appraiser coming, they're scared, they have to do it. But ours do not. We do follow. So that one gives me more personal development than anything else in the world. The amount of growth I had in the last, how many years in Muslim compared to the school life, my work, is not comparable. It's not comparable.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, my next question has to do with money. So we're talking about secrets of the millionaire mind today, right? So millionaires are not uncommon in Singapore, right? They say that actually we have about 250,000 millionaires. And you know, Singapore will overtake Australia to have Asia's largest share of millionaires in the adult population by 2030. So, what is the difference between a new state millionaire and those 250,000 millionaires out there, right? Millionaires created by traditional business, a job. Yeah. Would you go first?
Well, first of all, Oliver mentioned personal development. That's a huge thing. But I think all these millionaires out there, they must have gone through a lot of personal development in order to get the kind of extraordinary results that they get. So that's a given in any field. But for me, if I want to compare existing business with what I was doing before, I would say there were three things. First of all, is I become a nicer person. I become a nicer person because, first of all, I know what it means to experience poverty. Oliver was sharing, we sell one scrub, $2, how much we make sense. And that's what we do initially. We like the idea of what J. Paul Getty said. I'd rather earn 1% from 100 people than 100% of my own effort. Okay? But you start with just 1% and at the start before it gets to 100. And when it's 1%, you are poor compared to what you were earning before, especially if you're a senior successful person. Then you're not successful, people won't ask you to join the business. So just experiencing poverty is a humbling thing. And then the other thing is the hurt. The hurt and disappointment that we go through in this business. Your closest, your family members, your children, spouse even. And then the disappointment when people report your life into them, they walk away. It's very hard. And these are the things we don't control. We don't control. We realize what we don't control. It humbles us, makes us really, really grateful for the people who want time to do, grateful. So on myself. The second thing for me is peace of mind. When my income is diversified, it doesn't come from all my own effort, but it comes from a whole lot of customers, a whole lot of business partners. And I really can have peace of mind. That's the marvelous thing about this business. You can go away for holiday. Business still goes. I think COVID was a big example. We thought, wow, can't see face to face and all that. But business actually grew. And the last thing is time freedom. Actually shared very well. The time he had with his father got ill and his mother got ill. So in fact, that's a bit of the dangerous thing about the time freedom that we have. Because if you're a successful network marketer, then you are the firefighting department. Every time there's a fire, other people's fire, they call you. They don't call your brother who is a doctor or who is a they call the network marketer because he's got all the time. You are the A&E department. But if your purpose in life is to to make a difference, to help people, you need to have that reserve of time. I have got some friends in corporate successful. I cannot even call them because I feel so bad about taking time. So this is a precious gift that we give this time.
I think James has illustrated very well the difference of here versus outside. Now, when I want to add on to this, if you can understand the structure, income structure of this thing, you realize there are 4 characteristics that will then so outstanding from others. Is that the income structure in here, from what characterized total leverage. It's a total leverage thing. And the nature of the income, if you do it right, is compounding by nature. Thirdly, is that what James said, time friendly for the income structure is the longer you're in this business, the better it comes. Because the last one he says, effort can be accumulated. Effort can be accumulated. Now, these four characteristics in the income structure has actually put the difference between the millionaire created out there and the millionaire created in the new scheme. Because the two questions people need to ask is, it is not about how much you can make. It's also about how long can you make the same amount. This is an important question. And the other important question is, would you prefer, or rather, to work the whole life to make the income? Spend the whole life to make the income, or would you like to make the income so they can spend the whole life? If this two is clear, then you know that if you work towards becoming, earner in the new scheme, you definitely have a big advantage because you have upside advantage. You also have the sun.
Let's address the elephant in the room. It's a multi-level marketing business, is it not? Yeah, you get that, right? So what is it about a multi-level marketing business? When I first came, I said, the top makes more money than the fellow at the bottom, right? Then somebody actually asked me this question: Minister of Education make more money or the school teacher? I said, Minister of Education, no? So it's the same one. From side, does it look like a pyramid to you? It's the same thing. Okay, but what's the difference? The difference here is this. That's my upline, and this my upline's upline. There's always a possibility in this business model that one day I will supersede the income. Make more than that. There's a possibility, not confirmed, depending on how I work, how he works, he will supersede him. But in a traditional business model, is you want to make more than halal there, you take school teacher, take over minister. The question is, do you have the behavioral competency? Do you have the competency and intellect to do that? I don't. This guy is a PhD. I feel maths. School first, I'm a lieutenant colonel. I'm a platoon sergeant. I run up the wrong year one. Okay, so, but I'm sitting up here together with them as COE1, the same platform. Yeah, I mean, it gives equal opportunities to everybody to get the same results. That's the difference between a millionaire in traditional business versus what we do.
Wow. Thank you. Ask my last two questions. So I actually want to ask the panel, right, to share their favorite quote of success or inspirational quote. So I asked James to start first.
There are many favorite quotes. I learned so much in this business, but I just want to share this one with you. Success is walking from failure to failure. Why is that meaningful to me? Because really, you're going to create something that you've never created before. You're going to create something you've never created before. So there's all possibility of it going wrong. And you need to be friends with failure. You really need to. So that's the practice of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's how you live a big life. That's how at 60, 70, you dare to race when the younger ones cannot race because you lose. You see, no, you don't lose, how you know where you are so you can get better. It's about improving things all the time. So I'm not afraid to try anything new. And that's a big thing. Because if you want to succeed, you got to start. And you can be comfortable with friend with failure. You will succeed.
Actually, this question is so common. Then, and we know the success in everybody's life is different. For me, if you live a happy life, if you live a happy life, and you can you can actually achieve a peace of mind. Whatever you are doing, you are already successful. So my thinking of success is the ability to continue to move forward. That's why this quote I like a lot. Don't give your past the power to define the future. Because too often I dwell on the past. You know, look at past, look at what I'm not good at. No, let's look forward and just move forward. This is what
That's my quote. Okay. How did I came about this? This is my coach, by the way. This is my coach. He's been there since day one for 20 years. One day he just said to me, your words are very sharp, you know. You know, Hok Seng do not say a lot of things, but when he say things like you better play in your head like a broken record. You know? So I go home, my words are very sharp. Then one day I was sleeping and I saw Maya Angelou. And she said this, I've learned that people will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did. Whatever you say, whatever you do, people will forget. But people will never forget how you made them feel. That was the biggest realization for me. Okay. And my work since then has been dependent on this. So how does it affect my business here? Whenever somebody comes and they say, you know, I want to introduce the TMIT to you, and they say, oh, Oliver, I've been using Herbalife, for example. I remember this. And how do I respond? I say, congratulations, you believe in direct selling product and you believe in taking care of the health. Okay? But I do not know about Herbalife because I'm not trained in it, but I'd like to introduce TMIT to you. So how does that fellow make him feel? It doesn't feel stupid. Let me know. Imagine, I know that product cannot eat one. The fellow feel damn stupid, you know. I just spent how much money feeling stupid. You know? Well, the fellow buy, he will not, because he said, I see the fellow only he feel stupid. So that one altered the way I position myself and how I talk to people. You know, if the person is an employee, instead of saying employment, 假啦，工资不出头的路。I don't say this kind of thing to them, feeling that they have made a mistake for the last 20 years. Then you don't say that to them. I said, good. Now there's something for you. It's good to be employed so you know what's happening, you have experience, you have a network. Now I have something for you to leverage what you've been gaining for the last 50 years in your work. Let's introduce you to network marketing. So they don't feel stupid. And this has been a principle of how I work this business. Ever since the comment came from him, ever since I saw it, I said, okay, that's the right one. So that's my quote to audience here.
On to the mic. Last question. So just in closing, if someone is considering the business right now, would you give him or her a piece of advice? What advice would you give?
Piece of advice. Look at this business from the financial perspective. Okay, take a look at what you're looking for. Is what you're doing giving you what you're looking for in 5-10 years time? It is not. Take a look at this. The network marketing business, the newspaper business is not designed to be the same as your employment outside there. It's not designed to be the same. Okay, you cannot compare it. It's designed to be different so that it gives you something else that a typical traditional business or employment cannot give you. You don't have to do the math. You can go and check the record. It's a public listed company. It is possibly bigger than your employer. Much bigger than employer in terms of financial status and all this. It's probably much bigger than employer. So I would ask you to do one thing. Ask your sponsor who brought you here. Ask them, show me 5% sixth generation. If you understand, if you take a look at it, you'll probably know what's the difference. All right, that's all I ask you to do. 5% sixth generation, and if you decide to do it, go and take up the TMIT. I'm not saying you're fat. Okay, I'm saying that it will make a difference to how you look, your health and everything, and your business will grow. All right, that's all.
Yeah, I think pretty much Oliver has covered. That's essential. It's to me, you know, when we come to this business, we need to be very, very clear what where we are going. And next, I remember when I just started, James asked me, so now do you want to go like, he said, years, 50 years. I said, 40 or 50 years. Up. He said, I don't know the answer, but no, I say yes. And saying yes can save your life. Because say yes first, and then figure out what to do. Because this business is you follow the people who are walking in front of us. And we can make it. Because ultimately, right, what we want to say is the power in this business is not how good you are at doing whatever you are doing. So even you are very good at football, you come and play basketball, you cannot use your hand. Oh, sorry. Correct. If you're playing basketball, very good at basketball, and you can't play football, you cannot use your hand. You need to know the rules of the game and you follow the people who are already good at it. So I think just one step at a time, and definitely can reach there. Remember, ask your sponsor how to qualify for that. And that is the one that's guaranteed, almost guarantee you the growing of the organization.
One of my mentors said, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if I wait for a better time, if I wait for more information, I'll never get started. I'll miss all the what we call ground floor opportunities. The other thing is, no, I attract people like me. So if I'm a procrastinator, I'll attract procrastinators in my life. What you want to do is you want to attract people to say, why not? So I would say, ask the question, what's the risk of doing versus the risk of not doing? Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you can see further. If you don't like it, you can turn back. So just get started. Just get started.
Thank you. Thank you. Just get started is a very good point to end. I want to thank our three speakers for tonight for giving us such great insights into the business and how to think like a millionaire and live like a millionaire. I just have one last slide and one last announcement. Must self-coyo for next week. Please come back next week. We've got a fun thing going on. Drop one dress size down in 30 days. Oliver will be giving a talk, and there will be a lot of fun because he promises food. He says got presents. Got presents, yeah. So come dress in your Christmas best. 6:30 next Wednesday. Please tell your friends, bring your guests. And with that, thank you everyone. And please join me in giving the Christmas